Welcome to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. This podcast was created for the boomer woman leaving corporate, and now you're looking to reinvent yourself, become an author, an entrepreneur, a podcaster. Well, each episode will leave you with clarity. You will come away with the yes, I can and yes, I will reinvent myself mindset. So come on, let's do this. I'm your host, Margot Levette. Hello, Margot Levette here. Welcome to another episode, Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Well, it is the last Friday of the month, and I always bring you something concerning reinvention, and today is no different. It's just you and it's me today, all right? I read a book that impacted me greatly because something real crazy happened to me last year. It was the fall, and I was feeling very overwhelmed. The money was not coming in as it should. I was beginning to doubt myself. Am I really supposed to podcast? And I knew that I should really rely upon someone else, ask someone about how I was feeling. And I knew that I should ask someone about how I can better market and generate income for the academy, but I did not. So long story short, someone referred me to a book written by Elayne Fluker. Now, you know Elayne because she is a podcaster. She is the creator of Support is Sexy. And if you've ever listened to that podcast, you know she empowers women. She's already interviewed over 500 women, and I love her show. I really, really do. But someone referred me to her book. It came out last May, and the title of the book is Get Over, I Got It. Get Over, I Got It. And just looking at the title, it kind of threw me off for a moment, but I bought it, an Audible book, because I knew Elayne was going to present it. She's the one reading the book, and her voice is dynamic. So right from the very beginning, she lets us know that we don't have to be super women. And when I thought back about her podcast, we have to ask for help. Support is sexy. She's all about asking for help, which is something that she learned to do. Ask for help. And then the book even takes us into this thing of self-care. Oh my goodness. It was a real eye-opener. I have to admit, last fall, I forgot all about celebrating the small wins, meeting the milestones. I was so dogmatic about making sure that the Academy turned a corner, and I pushed, and I pushed, and I pushed. And it seemed as though the more I pushed, the more resistance there was inside and out, and I forgot all about self-care. So it's an excellent read. It really is. Get Over, I Got It. And it makes sense because, when you think you got it, tell yourself the truth. You really don't have it, and you're not going to have it unless you ask for help. I found that I am the kind of person that really is going to work this entrepreneurial journey out best with a coach, a strategist, and somebody that I can pick up the phone and give a call to. I need to be with somebody at least once a week. I found that to be so. And it's not that I even strayed away from it, but with that person, you have to tell them about all your ideas and how you're feeling about different things. Maybe you're about to do something and it's just not connecting in your spirit. And it's probably, for me, it was something that I should have done. And I'm talking about restructuring my business, long overdue. But I was fearful, and I felt as though I couldn't do it and be successful when in actuality, I wasn't doing it by myself. I had a structure. I had an instructor. I have someone who has an MBA. I have someone who has a business that is very, very successful, taking me by the hand. But the source of fear backed me into the corner. And I really just, my pride would not let me tell them what was really going on. Big mistake, big mistake. So, like I say, I listened on Audible Books. Get Over, I got it. And it was a life changer. You know, back in the day, I strived very hard not to be the person that did not know their job in corporate. I knew my job, or if I didn't know it, then as a dispatcher, I had to know where to get that information. So I pride myself on that. And it was tough because in that environment, things are always changing. Procedures and situations and the decisions that have to be made quite quickly. And you just pray that you're making the right decision. You're going off of what you know. I went off of intuition and gut, and I went off of protocols. And it's just one big package that's in your face all at once. And you have to draw from that package and pray that you got the right decision. I came from that. That's how I operated. And when I was a child, I never wanted to be the dummy in the class, even though secretly I felt like the dummy. Can I just get on the couch today with you guys and just tell you everything? I hope so. I'm not holding anything back. When I was in first grade, the 2 times, and this seemed the only way that I could do any schoolwork was when my sister was with me at the chalkboard. And then I could see it, I could hear it, I could understand it, and I could give it back to the instructor. But on my own, my confidence was not there, and I felt as though I could not stand alone. And ladies and gentlemen, I took that into junior high, and I took that into high school, and I took that into my first job. And I knew last year, I've taken that everywhere I've gone. And has it served me? Not really. It's really harmed me, because the fact of the matter is that I shouldn't have to try to know everything. I give my best, and I am naturally curious, and I ask a lot of questions. But why would I heap that upon myself to know everything the way I've always tried to operate? It's no wonder that I fell into burnout and imposter syndrome and just self-doubt. So I wasn't taking care of myself that way, and I wasn't honest. But when I read, getting back to Elayne Fluker's book, I digress just a bit. When I listened to Get Over, I got it. I gave myself permission to say, you don't have it. You need to restructure your business, and you're going to have help for that. You're going to need help for a marketing plan for this academy. You're going to have help with lead generation. And that's just that. And once I gave myself permission, and I opened myself up to the possibilities, and Elayne Fluker speaks about this, being open to possibilities, believe in the possibilities. When I allowed myself to go there, and this happened in January, then all of the pieces fell into place. I now have a stronger business structure, LLC. You're going to hear about me changing the name back to Go Beyond the Interview, because I truly know that I am about more than giving people interviews, but it all goes around full circle. It's all media. It's all podcasting. It's all about giving the guest exposure. It's all about people knowing me. It's all about me being the expert that I am, because I've studied, paid a lot of money to know what I know and to do what I do. And why should I step back away from that? So give myself that, and know that that does not diminish when I say, I need help with this, and pay for it. Pay for it. Invest in it. What does L'Oreal say? You're worth it. What is the one song? I'm Christian. What is the one song? You thought I was worth saving. I have worth. I have worth. And to ask for help does not diminish my ability. What I know, where I'm going will only be stronger, better, and I'll get there faster by asking for help. That's what I did when I came out of corporate, and, I hadn't podcast for a year and a half, something like that. And to come back into podcasting, I had to ask for help. How did I forget that? I don't know. I hired the best that I could find. It was Brother Bedford. And the way he taught me to build my podcast, it's been on a major network, and it hasn't failed. It hasn't failed me the way I'm operating now. And it hasn't failed any of the students that I've taught how to put their podcast together. So you get that from asking for help. And out of that help from Brother Bedford, I not only got a rock solid podcast that is gaining a lot of attention, I also found my voice. I found my confidence. And that is priceless. That I would not have found on my own. I think the obstacles of reinvention would have been too much. And I'm wondering whether or not some of you are there trying to reinvent yourself, become a podcaster, become an entrepreneur. And it's tough. You need somebody. You need to read the book. First of all, get over, I got it, so that you know that you don't have it without asking for help. And by the way, you can get Elayne's book, Barnes and Noble. It's everywhere. I got mine on Audible Books. So whichever way you learn and absorb, stand ready to apply information as you get it, then you'll want to definitely make a purchase. No, I am not an affiliate. I'm just a fan, and I am just a person that added this book to my reinvention journey, and it has helped me immensely. Get Over, I Got It by Elayne Fluker. So I'm going to wrap this up, but if I had to be reminded and give myself permission to ask for help, I know that I'm not the only one. Things happen, and it's rarely just for you. So if you are thinking about or have been thinking about learning how to podcast, I want you to get in contact with me. Part of my business structure was to rebuild the tutorials that I have concerning podcasting over at podcastacademyonline.com. Make them sleeker, make them more succinct, entertaining, bring them up to date, because this podcast industry is ever changing. Reach me. I will help you. If you don't know what a podcast is, if you don't know how a podcast works, reach me. I will help you. And if you are new to this entrepreneurial game, or maybe you have been around for a while and you are just stuck, and you feel as though your head is at the ceiling, but you know you are far from finished. You are far from being where you want to be. May I make a recommendation? May I refer you to the MOB, M-O-B, Masters of Business Mastermind. Brother Bedford is an entrepreneurial genius. He reads everything. He hobnobs and he studies with the millionaires. But he has a heart for the Black entrepreneur. He wants to pull us and get us up to steam so that we can compete, so that we can speak the language of these different industries that we are working in and occupying and trying to grow our businesses in. He's always giving information that you can apply. And a mastermind is not where you come knowing everything. It's where you put your bit of information in, someone else puts in their bit of information, and together, collectively, you come up with solutions. There's always a hot seat, and when you get on the hot seat, then all eyes and ears are on you, which is what we need, where we can be honest and focused and gain clarity about why we're stuck, where we're at, and we can get out of that silo where we were not able to see our way out. May I suggest the MOB, M-O-B, Masters of Business. You can Google Brother Bedford, Master of Business, all is well. May I make that suggestion? Because we have to ask for help. There's no shame to it. Get the book, get over. I got it. And then follow up with me if you need help with podcasting, and follow up with Brother Bedford if you want to be part of a rock solid, results-driven mastermind. All right. That's been on my mind ever since I finished the book, Elayne Fluker's book. So I know that it helped me. I trust that it will help you. I'll be back next week with another episode of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. And keep in mind, I am not an affiliate of either one of these suggestions. I just know these folks. I've experienced them, and I have received results from each and every one of them. All right. Bye-bye now. I want to thank you for listening to Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation. Couple of things that I want you to do right now. Go to my website, pick up a copy of Her Business, Her Voice, Her Reinvention, how I went from game show hopping to international show host, author, and speaker in 1 year. Number 2, please freely listen to each and every episode. Share them out with your family, friends, the men in your lives. And then number 3, get in contact with me, one of the experts that have been on the show, because I want to make sure that you reinvent yourself. I'll be back next week with a brand new episode here on Her Business, Her Voice, Her Conversation.